Hi, this is Richard Robbins with My 60K Store. In this lecture, we're going to talk about how you'll build authority for your website using press releases. Also, you'll use press releases for general marketing purposes to get exposure for your e-commerce store. Here's how the process works. First of all, you're going to identify a newsworthy topic that's related to your product niche. You'll need to brainstorm a little bit and go take a look at some news articles. Here, if I go to news.google.com, I can search for articles that are related to Online Safety Depot and find some ideas that I can use. Because I sell fall protection products, I'm going to look for an article that has to do with fall incidents. Here's one that I find here, the Amtrak crash that is a current event. This is an article in the New York Times. I can go and grab data from this that has to do with what they're talking about here, declining construction spending, and I can incorporate that into a news article that I can publish on OnlineSafetyDepot.com that will be related to my product mix. The fact that this Amtrak crash is in the news recently will actually help me to get a little bit more exposure for the article because it is a popular topic. After we've identified a topic, we want to write a news article that addresses a topic. As we're writing the news article, we want to tie in something about our website and how our e-commerce store or something about our e-commerce store ties into the news topic. You're then going to publish the news article on your website. You're then going to publish the news article on your website. I suggest setting up a news section you can put your news articles in. You then will also publish the news article through some press release distribution websites. There are many of them out there, including prweb.com, prlog. Some of these are free, some you have to pay for. Here's a list that I found of the best paid and free press release sites. You can see a list here of several PR distribution sites that are free, and here's a list of some of the top distribution sites that cost money. I use prweb.com. They're the cheapest. Often you can actually find coupons, and this one has worked well for me. Here's a press release that I wrote a couple of years ago for prohealthcareproducts.com when I was running that company. We were announcing a new VP operations that I had hired to work with the company. A new executive level hire is something that is newsworthy. This press release, after it was published on prweb.com, eventually got a page authority of 45 out of 100, so it had a lot of authority to transfer over to my e-commerce store. I have several links in here that go to prohealthcareproducts.com, and so that authority is transferred over. You can see that there are actually other places where this article is distributed, places that Google has indexed, even though the second two are actually duplicate articles, and Google does not treat them with the same amount of credibility as the first article. There are still other places out on the internet. There is still some advantage to the fact that this article was syndicated and that some other news outlets picked it up and published it on their website. For your press release article to bring you the best results, here are some tips that I recommend. First of all, it would be best if it relates to a current event that is popular at the time. For instance, the Amtrak derailing is popular right now, so if I wrote an article about construction spending and how that could have contributed, and I relate that to OnlineSafetyDepot.com, that's going to get a lot of traction. Your article should also be high quality and not some useless news, like, for instance, if I said Online Safety Depot added some climbing harness to our website. That's not really newsworthy. That's a pretty trivial activity. So creating a press release article about that would certainly not have the value of something that relates to a wider audience and actually could be considered newsworthy. Also, when you're writing your press release, you want to make sure that this thing looks like something that would be done by a legitimate company with a legitimate news arm to it. It should not be obvious to them that you're writing this article strictly to get ranking authority. And in fact, with this article, you are using it for marketing in general as well as for getting ranking authority. And although that is the major purpose for us doing press releases, you need to make sure that your press release article has value aside from just getting a link from one of the press release distribution sites or one of their syndicates who will republish the news article that you've submitted through the press release network.